Howdy. This there's Professor You the Guru coming to you from wherever the heck I am. I've been playing this song for 25 seconds. I could play it for another 25 seconds. I'm not proud or tired, but I promise you that you're not going to have to look at my ugly mug for another 15 minutes or 20 minutes or anything like that, because I have in mind to show you my new guitar tablature software called Guitar, Guitar. No, that's how you spell guitar. Guitar, Gooeytar, because that's how you're supposed to pronounce guitar if you pronounce it according to the way it's spelled. And my new guitar software, tablature software program app is special and different. It's not like the other ones. Why would I make something like the other ones? I made something better. So I'm just going to show it to you while I describe it to you, and I guess pretty much you're done looking at me. Thank goodness for small favors. All right, let's get this show on the road. I started making Guitar because I was frustrated with software that had a lot of features I didn't want. However, they had not completed what I consider to be primary features that everybody would want. So let's not go into too much detail on my teeny tiny little frustrations, because no doubt Guitar, being a simple program, is not going to do everything I want either. We're all bozos in this bus. I'm on Linux, but if you're in Windows, there's instructions, and you can read instructions on how to make a few little changes to get it working for Windows if you want to use it in Windows. This is how you start the program. This is assuming that you've made a folder called Guitar and put these two files in it. You see, there's my username, and then so this is the home, and I made a folder called Guitar, and I put these two files in it. So that's all you need. All this stuff is just my development junk. You don't need any of that. Okay, and then you're going to need one SF2, that's a sound font file to play the sounds of the guitar. This is the one I'm using. I also tried this one. They're an octave apart. So I put the code in here to handle that situation, because there is some confusion about what octave music is written in for the guitar. So depending on the situation, you might want to change one or more of these two sound font file names. Other than that, that's all you have to do. You just go to, let's see, do like I did. I went to polyphone.io to get my sound fonts, which were free, and then I clicked on guitars, and the ones that I chose were the oldest ones, which were back here. This is the one that I downloaded, and this is the one that I ended up using. And I ended up changing the name of it a little bit. You can do that, if you type it right. I'm pretty sure I had to sign in order to download it. But you see, it has good reviews and it has lots of downloads, and that's kind of what I was looking for. That's easy. Then you put it in your same folder. You see, the one I downloaded had a dash or a space here. I just changed the file name, and then make sure this file name is the same. And then since this one was an octave different from it, I have an alternation here that if you were to put this up here instead, then this would go into effect. But I'm not going to show you a lot of code, because that's not what we're here to do. Let's see now. If I was to go here into my terminal, I've been using this because I just open it from my code editor, but you and I probably don't have the same code editor, so you go here to your Linux terminal, and if you're on Windows, it's very easy. You just install Python, you'll figure it out. You can ask Google, like I do all the time. Google didn't used to work, but it works now. It's AI, but you got to just, be smarter than the AI. It won't get you into trouble if you do some of your own thinking. You go enter, and it will start, and then there it is. So I got all these fake songs in here. These aren't real songs, but I just created lots of different things. Depending on what you push here, Alice's Restaurant, there's nothing in there, but there's one chord. Okay, there's my first chord. So let's see. I believe I worked on this one quite a bit more. All right, that took about 5 minutes to make all that. Let's add to this file. By the way, the way you make a file, let's call this Grumpy. That's not a very nice way to type. Let's call this Mr. Grumpy. Be respectful. Words by Mr. Grumpy. Music by Mrs. Grumpy. Key, let's call it key of J. It's supposed to be like C or C sharp or something, but it doesn't matter. That's just for you to look at. Time signature, that's important. You can go 3/4, 2/4, 12/8, all the popular ones. Beats per minute, that's quarter notes per minute. So you can make this anything you want. Let's just, I'll show you that later. A measure count, that's going to make measures, and it'll make a few extra because, to be perfectly honest, I didn't want to write a bunch of extra code so that it would stop right here. So it just rounds up. So there's no end of song, there's no repeats, there is what you call copy, cut, copy, paste. We don't need complicated tablature software. This is just tablature. It's just a tool for helping you learn your next rag. I prefer Ragtime, so you don't have to use it for Ragtime. You don't have to, but you can, and it's much simpler for Ragtime and better for Ragtime, and also for triplets, or what I call tripleted quarter notes, where you got 3/8 notes, but they're not 3/8 notes. It's actually a triplet, the same length as 1/4 note. You don't have any confusing, and that's one of the worst features of Tux Guitar, which is a good program that I like, by the way. But its worst feature is its triplet feature, because it's very confusing to get it to work right. And once you learn how, I suppose you learn how, but when you're old like me, you forget in about 6 minutes or less. So I made GUItar simple. Here's all the stuff we put in when we created this. This measure is divided into 48 steps. And the reason for that is so we can put triplets. As triplets, we can put, because tripleted quarter notes, that's 3/12 notes. But standard music notation doesn't have a 12th note, and then they base tablature on a standard musical notation. And then they made their triplets just as bad or worse than what's in standard musical notation. Well, in GUItar, the standard musical notation is not in our way. We don't have to look at it, and we don't need to use it. We just put triplets in as triplets. There's a way to make 12th notes the same way as you make any other note. So you go 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there you are back at red. So if you're in blue, you go 6, you're back in blue. Okay, so this pattern repeats. There's 5 of them, 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 of them. Okay, so there's 8 times 6 is 48 in each measure. And then if your song is not 4/4, there's going to be some differences. If you arrive at a note, that's a quarter note at B3 pitch. So let's use the up arrow, go up to the 3. That's a quarter note at D5 pitch, and these are all quarter notes, as you can kind of tell. And this also works with the mouse. Let's point at that 0. Quarter note at E5 pitch. Okay, now one, not problem, but slight design defect is that because of the small steps, the 48 thing, you got a little slight challenge with the mouse to get the right one. But I generally tend to use the arrows instead for traversal. Clicking here doesn't do anything. That's reserved for making selections for copy paste. Cut, copy, paste. This is where you click to select a column to do something in. If you want to delete a note, you can do that with delete or backspace. If you want to traverse faster, you can just hold down the arrow, go to the left or to the right, just hold it down for a long time. But better yet, if you go Control 6, it's going to jump 6 spaces. Now see, it's going from blue to blue. Go Control 5, it's going to go almost to the blue. Hit the right arrow, then it goes to the blue. Okay, hit Control 4, hit the right arrow twice, it'll go to the blue. Okay, you're going to learn all about these color-coded things to help you know where you are, and you get used to the colors, and you will like them. Yes, you will. Let's not argue about it. Okay. Eighth note is, how many times does 8 go into what you call 48? It's 6 notes apart. So each time you hit Control 6, you're going to move an 8th note. So there's a start over here. Start on this first note here. That's the first quarter note. You start there, and you go Control 6. You can put another 8th note. You can put an 8th note there. You put an 8th note anywhere you want. You're going to see certain patterns used over and over. In certain places, you're going to put things most of the time. Okay, so the colors are going to help you with that. You'll figure that out as you go. I'm not smart enough to explain it to you. And I've been using this like 2 days, so give me a break already. Move my microphone a little bit. Tighten her up. Yeah, move it away from my mouth. I take a drink of tea. So we've got 8th notes in Ragtime, which this is. Now you notice there's no box to check that says this is a Ragtime song, because in other tablature, starting with tablature books of Stefan Grossman, where he said, well, we call this duplimeter, and we make 2 8th notes, but you play them different. You play them as if the first 8th note was a dotted note and the second 8th note was a 16th note, but that's wrong. It's actually triplets, but let's not get into that right now. That's how I remember him saying it. Maybe he said it right. He might have said it as triplets. In other words, the first note in an 8th note pair is the first 2 durations of a triplet, and the second is in other words, 2/3 and 1/3. However, if you think that's confusing, well, then they started calling it swing over in what's it called, Muse Score software. They call it swing, so you can check the swing box and play it as Ragtime. You're putting in 2 8th notes in a row, but it's playing it different. So basically, you're lying and then clicking a box, say I lied. Okay, and then in Tux guitar they call it triplet feel. Okay, well, it's just Ragtime, And here in Guitar, I had to look that up there. Guitar was created by a Ragtime enthusiast. That's me. So I really wanted a software that was all space-time oriented, so we don't have to say, well, this is an 8th note and this is a quarter note, blah, blah, blah. Every note is evenly spaced here. Everything is the same distance apart in space as it is in time. Okay, the distance between any two notes in guitar is exactly proportional to their distance apart in time. Okay, so here is an eighth note. Let's see. Oh my goodness, but look at what the little blue box says. The blue box up on the right says it's a sixth note. What, a sixth note? There's no such thing. Well, yes, there is. That's the duration of two twelfth notes. That's your first eighth note in an eighth note pair. If it's ragtime, we don't have to go through with all that now. We put things where they belong. It's an actual sixth note. In standard musical notation, they don't give you a symbol for the sixth note, so we think, well, there is no sixth note. In fact, the first time I asked AI, well, what about 12th notes? And they say, oh, there is no 12th note. But later on, they got used to me, and they started speaking to me in my own language, especially when they told me I was absolutely brilliant. But I take all that with a little grain of salt because it's just marketing, right? Well, partly. Anyway, so over here, what's this? A 12th note. Oh, that's why they look funky. They look ragged in here. Instead of being all evenly spaced, they're raggedly spaced, like the timing of the song. Okay, so like I said, you go Control 3 and you're going to jump 3. You see that? You jump 3 twice and you go to the next eighth note. So obviously 3/48 is what? It's 1/16. That's simple arithmetic. Up and down arrow goes around. Did you see that? That was an up arrow. Get to the top, hit up arrow again, goes round and round. And you just hold it, you go round and round. That's just the up arrow. I'm just holding it down. Down arrow, get to the bottom, it goes up. Get to the bottom, it goes up. That's just the down arrow, okay? Right arrow, left arrow. You don't click here. That's going to start a selection. Don't do that. You click down here to select, to say activate that chord, or you go like this to activate that chord. You go like this to activate that chord, whatever. What else is there? Let's say we want to increase this to a different fret. That says third fret. We decide that's wrong, so we're going to hit the plus sign over in the numpad. If your computer doesn't have a numpad, well, you better get yourself a real computer. That's all I got to say. Okay. The minus sign over in the numpad, that makes it a smaller, lesser fret number. You can't go below 0, can't go over 25. Let's leave that at 3. And if you want to save it, you can. That 5 there is a 12th note at E5 pitch. What if I wanted to make that a 16th note? Well, then I'd go Control minus over there in the numpad minus. See, now it's a 16th note. Let's play it. All right, now let's hit plus, make it a 12th note. See, that's a 12th note now. Play it. Can't tell? Okay, well, let's go up a couple of times, and then go up the next one. That's a Control plus. Changes. It's an eighth note, a sixth note, a quarter note, half note, whole note. Now let's play it. See? It ended exactly one measure later because it's a whole note now. You hit space bar to start and stop, or you can use the button that says play and the button that says stop, but I usually use the space bar because that's what we're used to. We already changed it. I'm going to change it again. See, that Control minus over the numpad. It's a sixth note, eighth note, 12th note. That's what it's supposed to be. That's why it's so close to the next note. Okay, it's called time space representation of note duration. The distance apart of the notes is on the GUI, graphical user interface, is the same as the distance apart in time of the note's duration. All right. You can start on any measure number. I'm starting 1 here, but when you make a new song, you can start on 0. You could start on any number you want, which comes in handy. Say if you're using if you're looking at some sheet music or something and it's numbered differently, or you just want to do a certain section or something, then you can make your numbers match here in the tabware. And it comes in really handy because you don't have to translate in your mind when you're looking back and forth between the two of them, trying to locate yourself, correspondingly in the two different musics. And now there's no way to print this other than screenshots, but what's wrong with screenshots? Nothing. You can make PDFs out of those if you want. Let's see what else is there. Save if you make a change. We haven't changed anything yet. We haven't added any notes yet. That's what we need to do. Save as works. Save copy as works. Rename works. They do not make separate files. This is a portable program, and you only have one. I'm going to show you. It's not in this is home, and this is the GUitar folder that you can create and put these files in it, or at least some SF2 file that you get online. But besides this, there's only one thing to do, and I'm going to show you. Okay, so now I'm in Documents. That's like the built-in thing, You go over to, you create this yourself. GUitar files. Probably capitalize it right. I don't know. I don't know if you have to or not. But this is the other file that you need to put it in here. And if you don't want to put it in there, you can go into Python and change it. You could actually put it in the same place as the other stuff, but you probably know how to do all this stuff. Actually, to get the file, I believe, it's a small file, so you can also get that from the blog, the Pro Boards. By the way, home and end work. By the way, go home and then hit the left arrow. Oh my goodness, it auto-scrolled to the very bottom. And we can keep going to the left. If you go back to the right, you go to the end, hit right arrow again, it auto-scrolls, and you're back at the beginning. Go Control End, goes to the bottom, but it does not move. Mouse wheel back up here. See, it did not move the current chord. It just moved the tablature, so you could look down there without moving your current chord. You go Control Home, and it moves it back up. Used to be able to drag it, but no scroll bars. Yeah, it auto scrolls beautifully. It scrolls like this, but way smoother. It's got really nice code that scrolls it oh so smoothly as the song is playing. So you can be sitting there with your guitar playing along with it, and you don't have to stop and scroll. Well, that's really nice. No repeats. We got copy, cut, copy, and paste. You don't need repeats. We need simple. Okay? You ever get where, you in Tablature software, you spend all your time trying to figure out repeats? Well, just stop, Just do the song. Just put the whole song there. And if GUitar don't work, then do it in touch guitar. I don't care. It's up to you. But GUitar is a tool for learning songs, arranging songs, writing songs, getting that lick down so you don't forget it. It's fast and it's easy. Now, assuming that our next note is going to be there, let's get prepared. I'm going to go over to my guitar and consult with my guitar on what the next note is supposed to be. First, I'm going to play it again so we remember where we are. All right, the first thing we're going to do is make that correction I told you about. This is the wrong note, and I want to put this note instead. But first, how do you tell GUitar whether to make a quarter note, half note, 12th note, whatever? This is a do 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 do. It's a quarter note. So we're going to go Shift Control Q, just like that. and put a 2 there. Arrow down, arrow up, quarter note, okay? And the next note, I just hit that arrow like 16 times, but you don't have to do that. You can do it easy, like, oops. There's no jumping backwards, but you can jump forwards. 6, 6, like that. Jumping backwards is a feature that should exist. Do 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 do. Okay, we're going to have a quarter note followed by a couple pairs of so-called eighth notes that they used to call it back in Stephen Grossman days. And Stephen Grossman is my idol. I'm not making fun of him or criticizing him because his books is what got me started, except for, as you might have guessed, Arlo Guthrie's Tablature book, which was the first time I ever heard about tablature, and boy, did that make me happy. I was actually able to learn a song properly because I didn't have to sit there and figure out those ridiculous musical notation that my mama taught me when I was 3, so I could play the piano like her, which I never did, but I became a piano tuner for a while, 20 years, long enough to get tired of it. This is going to be a 5, and it's going to be a quarter note, so it's still quarter notes. We're still on quarter notes. That's a D, see? Quarter note, a D4 pitch. See the blue box? All right, now we're in that, what I call the C7 shape, but it's actually a D7 because I think we're up 2 frets. A quarter note is 4 goes into 48 12 times, so you skip forward 12. That's where you put a quarter note. And generally what we're going to do is put quarter notes on red spaces, but not always, obviously, not always. Just in this simplistic kind of music that I like to play. It's a common pattern, let's put it that way. This is going to be a 6th note. So Shift Control X, not S, because S is for 16th notes. The others are all use proper initials like T for 12th note and stuff like that. Control Shift X for a 6th note. I'm pretty sure this is a 4. This should be a 3. This is a 6th note. 6 goes into 48 8 times, so we're going to skip forward 8 times. Control 8. See? It's easy. I haven't been doing this for more than 5 minutes, you know what I mean? I just only give a little bit of testing and then I go make a movie about it. That's the way I am. I'm an Aries. I don't like to stay in testing mode very long, you know? I get my app to the point where it's useful, not to the point where it puts me in my grave. This is going to be a 5. Ooh, but it's not going to be a 6th note. It's going to be a 12th note, so we're going to go Shift Control T. That's a 5. 12 goes into 48 4 times, so we're going to go Control 4. And this is going to be a 3, 3rd fret. This is going to be a 5, 5th fret. That's a 12th note. I forgot to change. Okay, so you go Control plus. It's supposed to be a 6th note. Go down here, down button, down key, down arrow. That's a 6th note. Now we're still in 12 because I forgot to change it. So this is a 6th note. 6 goes in 48 8 times, so we're going to go Control 8. And that's a 0. And that's a 12th note, so 12 goes into 48 4 times, so we're going to go Control 4. Now we're on a red. See, now we're on that even Steven, whatchamacall place. Okay. You see why I don't like to mess around with musical notation? This is much more fun. And prettier. It's pretty. Look at it. It's simple. You got all the nice colors of the rainbow. Nothing wrong with it. It's good. It's a good direction to go in. If you're doing simple stuff, and if you like simple ragtime songs that, you don't have a whole bunch of bluegrass, 30-second and 60. I mean, if you're not Billy Strings, you might check this out. Billy Strings don't need tablature, you know what I mean? I read that on the internet, so I keep repeating it. Let's say this is a 0, but it's Control Shift Q. It's a quarter note. Okay, now I can go Control S, or I can click Save. Either one. And then when I redraw this, I mean, all that stuff plays. I'll show you. All that stuff plays. Look. That's the wrong note. Okay, it all plays. Maybe it's this note. The guitar's right over there. I should just grab it. You don't have to save it before you play it. I didn't. Did I? Yeah, I did. I clicked save. That's not right. All right, guitar, come here. I'm not what you call a musically trained musician. I didn't go to the university music school. My mama did not tie me to the piano bench at the age of 3. And that's my excuse, my main excuse, other than being fairly stupid. Oh, actually, I got ahead of myself. This measure doesn't belong here at all. I'm going to cut it from here and move it somewhere else. So we should be okay. So I'm going to try cutting this and pasting it. Okay, we're going to move to measure 8. Hope I counted right. And we're going to put it over in 8. So we look at this. This is the corner. So we go to the corresponding corner, northwest corner of that area, and go like that. And there's our. Then we're going to go Control V. I could have went Control X, but I forgot. Oh my goodness, look at that. Looks to me like the 5 is missing. Interesting. Well, let's not worry about it too much right now. These notes are right anyway. Let's delete that one. And that one. You can hit delete or backspace. Let's see if these notes play, just for the fun of it. I don't know if they're in the right place, but I think they are. Let's go home. Those notes are in the right place. Let's look at save as, copy as, rename. I'm going to save as Alice. It doesn't matter anything. First, I'm going to hit save. Okay. Now I'm going to save as unique title. You can't override an existing title because this is not a file manager. This is all going into one database. Every song is saved in one database. You don't have a database for each song. Okay, you don't have a file for each song. All the songs are in the same SQLite database. Okay, so a unique title for the song. We'll call it Alice Video 1. Okay, now it's called Alice Video 1. It closed. It did what we expect save as to do. All right. Now, what if we was to want to make a backup copy of this in case the changes I'm about to make are going to mess it up? So we're going to save a copy as, but we're not going to close it. We're going to keep Alice Video 1 open and see if it still plays. Yep. Okay, so we're going to keep it open, but we're going to save a backup copy of it. So let's call it Alice Video 2. Okay, see, now it did not open Alice Video 2, but Alice Video 2 is there. And we can open it up and play it. exactly the same as the last one. Now let's say we want to rename Alice Video 2 to Alice Rename. Okay, renamed it. Alice Video 2 no longer exists. It was renamed. What if we was wanting to play something up in the higher registers? On any string, you can go up to, like, fret 25 or whatever, depending on the length of your fingerboard. Now, here's how that works. You push down your first number, and then you hold down the Alt key, and you press your second number. And there is your 12. And you say, oh, but that's too wide. What if I'm going to put a note right here? Well, you're not, because we don't use 48th notes in music. We use multiples of 48 notes. For example, that's where you'd put a 16th note. That's where you put a 12th note. What if you want to put in chords? Okay, over on the numpad there's a star, asterisk. You press that. That's the asterisk you use. You don't use the other one. It's over in the numpad. That will toggle between text entry mode and note entry mode. So I'm going to show you. See how that toggles? Now once you're in chord entry, press the up or the down key, either one. See, now that went down below. That's where you put in lyrics. See, you can put in lyrics right there. Type anything you want. This is lyrics. You're going to write one syllable. Glory yeah. Like that. Anyway, that's roughly, that's how you do lyrics, right? You put in one syllable for a note, usually. Say you want to put in a chord, you go up here. And you can use either the up arrow or down arrow to toggle between these two. Okay? Now here's you're going to put in, say, G7. G7. Okay? Just that easy. You put in G minor 7. G minor 7. What about, let's put in a B flat minor. B flat, that's a small b minor. Okay, let's say we're going to put in F9. F9. Oops, got to let go of the shift button. There you go. Okay, how about an A sharp flat 9/7 major H plus. Oh, you got to use the plus over here in the symbols, not in the numpad. Okay. See, that works pretty good for all kinds of chords. All right, so that takes care of that, and then we want to go back to entering notes again. So you hit that asterisk over in the numpad to toggle back to a note entry. Showed you how to delete. Let's go back over here. You hit delete or backspace, either one. Now what about, let's see, since we go Control 6, it's faster, but the fastest way is to use your mouse. Okay, go back to note entry. This is the new copy routine. You click your northwest corner, what you want to copy. Then you click the southeast corner, what you want to copy. We're doing a rectangle here. It'll show you what you just selected. Control C for copy. There's no copy button, paste button, cut button. You don't need all those buttons. Just Control C. And you don't have to go to the same string. See, this starts here on this string. You can go any of these strings. Oh, I must have pressed that one already. I'm going to press Control Z for undo. See, that's not pasted anymore. It unpasted itself. Control C. See, let's put it on this string this time. So we're going to see all of it, but it's going to be on a different string. There you go. That shows what I pasted. See? Now, ain't that clever? That works pretty good now, doesn't it? Yeah. I just fixed this today. I rewrote this whole entire feature today with the help of my little AI friend Gemini. All right? And oh, by the way, it plays. It hasn't been saved yet. If I was to go over here and restart this song, Alice 3, it wouldn't be there anymore. But it does play. So before I save, I can listen to it. Okay, see, like this. See? It plays. So I don't like it. So I'm going to hit Control Z. Boom, it's gone. And I never saved it, but you can hear it because it's there. All right, now what about if I wanted to cut something? Let's say that I entered some notes here and I put them in the wrong place. Let's say I put those in the wrong place, like I put them on the wrong string. You know, it does happen, right? What does that sound like? Pretty weird. Okay. Now let's say I put all that on the wrong string. So I click here once, just a plain old click. No control button or nothing. Another click. That shows what's going to be copied when I go Control C. Control C. Now it's copied. Let's say I really wanted to put it here. I put it on the wrong string. Let's say I put it in the right column, but the wrong string. Let's go put it here instead. Click here. Control V. Well, look at that. Now I could go up here if I wanted and, oh, but I should have cut. You see, I could delete this. I should have used cut. Okay. Okay. Now let's say, oh, I put it on the wrong string again. So let's go back here. I don't need to do that. Just put this out of the way. We're going to go back here. This time we're going to cut. You're not doing control. You're not doing shift. Just clickety click. That's 2 clicks, 2 plain clicks. Control X for cut. You know all this stuff. Then I'm going to paste it up here this time. Control V. There it is. And oh, look, it's gone from here. You see? This works good now. See? Now let's say I want to paste it twice. Paste it here too. I forgot to paste it. Oh, there. It was still there. Okay. Now, what if I don't want to see the highlighting? Hit escape. There goes the highlighting. That's gone. But I can paste here. I can paste anywhere I want. Get rid of the highlighting if I want. I can paste from one staff to another. Look at this. See? It wraps around perfectly. It does that just right. Okay? Looks good. It looks good. All right? Okay, now if I want to restart the song, then all those unsaved changes are just gone. So I don't have to delete everything one thing at a time. You don't need to do that. Sometimes you need to do it. If you do save, you can still delete the notes one at a time. The best way to save a large part of the song is like this. Just start a new song, then base it on this, and then go in and change the notes you want. Or this. It'll save copy as, it makes a copy, but it doesn't open it. Save as will make a copy and open it and close the original. In part 1, I said you would open up guitar _ 0014. Well, it's now 0015. And in the future, if I ever do work on this some more, that number is going to get bigger. So whatever I said in part 1, 0014, just what you want to do is whatever is available. I'm not going to have different versions available. So whatever is available, that's what you want to use. Like, for example, here. And you go Python 3 like that. See, that's how you open it. Now, I open this from my editor because that's my habit. But I can open another instance of this right now, just like this, from the terminal. And now we got 2 opened. Does this play right? Yep. And what about this one? Yeah, okay, so it looks to me like you can probably have more than one instance open, and I don't see why not. I haven't tested except just right now, and that was a very lightweight test, but it seems to me like you should be able to do it. You can't play on text mode, okay, so you got your play here. You can hit the space bar to play, hit the space bar to stop, okay. Let's say you hit the asterisk over in the numpad, and now you're in text mode. You can enter an H minor 7-9. It's a little known chord, but you can't play. You're in text mode. You have to be in note entry mode in order to play. So you just hit that asterisk again, you toggle back to note entry mode, and you can play. And now here's another thing. I think you already know this by now, but you can start playing from anywhere. Just your current column. You want to play from some advanced place, then by golly, just go ahead. Now watch, I told you it was going to do auto scroll. We'll do it later on with the real song, but watch the numbers. See the numbers? Major numbers? Watch. Oh my goodness, look at that. And they sweet. That is very sweet. That's nice. I don't know how to do stuff like that. AI told me how to do that. So I'm not perfect. See, I'm using the mouse wheel. That's the only way. There's no scroll bar. But if you're over here, you can use the mouse wheel. You have to do it over here, not over here. Do it over here. Mouse wheel or dragging. Now I'm dragging and panning, so you can pan it all over the place. And when you add a new song, you get a new button here. And then it'll display right away, and it'll change the scroll region or whatever it's called so that you can see all your buttons all the way down to the bottom. So we're going to make a new song. Okay, we're going to call this the Bugs of... How do you pronounce this? It's a planet. Uranus? I'm not sure. I've never really known. Okay, that's 2-4, anything you want. I mean, it supports, GUITAR supports like 10 different time signatures. And I looked it up. I said, what's the most common 10 time signatures? And that's the ones it supports. And it could be extended if you're really fancy. But... okay, so we're going to have it be 2-4. We're going to have it be this tempo. It's going to be slower. And we're going to give it like, say, 10 measures. And we're going to make the first measure number, we're going to make that be 0. Words by Mr. Grumpy. And music by Mrs. Grumpy. Key, you can put this if you want. You don't have to. It doesn't do anything. It's only for you to look at. Let's say we're going to put that in the key of D sharp. Save new song. And there's our new song, The Bugs of, however you say that, words, music, D sharp, 10 measures. There's all 10 of them. Starting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now why does it have 12? Oh, the reason for that is it makes the code sweeter, nicer and leaner if I just round up, okay? So I don't round down because then you might not have enough measures. I round up. You notice we don't have any bar things, like different kind of bars, repeat bars, ending bars, section bars. We're just learning a song here. We're not trying to, make the next, what do they call that, Muse score software or something. We're not trying to make a DAW, D-A-W, whatever, I don't know how to say that. We're not trying to make a synthesizer. We're not trying to do anything fancy. We're trying to learn a song. Okay, so keep it simple. Simple schmimple. Oh, and by the way, look at this. Do you notice the major bars are closer together? That's because this is in 2-4 instead of 4-4, okay? And everything still works. You want to go Control 6, it's going to go, from quarter note to quarter note, right? Oh, the eighth note, sorry. Not very good at arithmetic. There's an eighth note, a quarter note, 3/4, whole note. Anyway, you go control 9, it goes faster than that. Hey, that's one way to do it. You can just hold it down. Okay, so hold down the left button. Anyways, you know all that from last time. Okay, so let's see. Alice 3 is our most complete song at this point. So here's 120, but you see it's got a little input here. You can change that. So let's see how it sounds. Okay, it's going da da da. Let's see if we can make this go a lot faster. And I don't know. Did I have to click a save button or something? No, all you have to do is tab out. Okay? And play. I lied. I lied. All you have to do is tab out, which saves it. You save it by tabbing out. It's already saved, but I didn't redraw the song. You got to redraw the song when you change the tempo. Sorry for the inconvenience, but that's kind of cute, huh? Okay, good. Kind of, yeah. Fortunately, we don't really play songs that fast, as far as I know. I don't know why anybody would want to. I'm going to tab out to save it, and then redraw the song. Do 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 boom ba ba da 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 da. Okay, that works. Works good. The next part, I'm going to grab my guitar. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to input every single note. Okay, there's a 3 and a 5, if I can remember that. Okay, that's going to be a 6th note. Shift Control X, as in 6th note. That's going to be here. You'll notice, I mean, most of the time in ragtime or in most music, you're going to be on even beats. That's how you know. That's what the red's good for. The red, the various different things. The red and the red is going to be used more often than not. We're in the red. That's like an even. It's on one of the 8th notes, even 8th note beats. That's a 5, and it's a 6th note. Okay, that worked. I don't know why I had to restart the song, but I did. This is a 3. Oops. I forgot to go Shift Control X. That's a 3. This needs to be changed. Control plus. See, it says up on the blue box, it says 8th note. 8th is like 8th is default, but I should change that because I'm usually putting in 12th notes and 6th notes instead. I should change the default note to quarter note so that usually if you don't select a note, it's going to go in as a quarter note. But for now, we're going to say plus. That's what I want that to be. Now let's change the note duration. 12th note. Shift Control T. And let's see, our 6th note is what? There's 8. 6 is in 48, so we're going to go ahead 8. Control 8. Right? So you'll learn this pattern. You go from red to yellow. You're going to learn that pattern. Okay, and it's going to be an open E up there. All right, so the next one's going to be a quarter note. Shift Control Q. I'm going to go up to the red space. See, that's an even beat, like for an 8th note or a quarter note. I don't know the right lingo. That's going to be another one of these 5s here. Arrow out, arrow back in. You see, it's a quarter note. Hit Control Save. That's now in there. It's in there. I forgot one note down here. It's this one. See, these are 6th notes, so I'm going to go Shift Control X. I'm going to go up here and put a 4. All right, let's go back here and play it and see what it sounds like. It's wrong. I don't know what's wrong exactly, but let's fix this because this is going to be 3. So that's over here on the numpad, you just hit the minus twice, and there now it's a 3. And we're going to play a C, plain old C chord. And then Control 6 twice will take us to the next quarter note space. You're going to play that like the beginning but staggered. So it's going to be a 6th note, X, Control Shift X. Okay, the treble first. This is going to be a 0. And then we're going to go forward, 8 spaces? Yep, because there's 8 6s and 48, and we just played a 6th note, so this is going to be a 12th note, Shift Control T, 3, back to Shift Control X for the next 6th note. It's a 12th note. I just made a 12th note, and there's 4 12s and 48, so I go Control 4, and we're back to a even thingamajigger. Next note's going to be a 6th note, and it's going to be a 1. That's a C of some sort. Okay. That was not a 12th note, that was a 6th note. So we're going to play a 12th note. So we're going to go up 4. Back 2, Shift Control X, go up 8. Shift Control T. This is how you do it. You put them in as the actual notes they are. They're not 8th notes. They're 12th notes and 6th notes. Go up 8. Control 8. That's a 2. Let's see how that sounds. That's not right. The nice thing about this is you can fix stuff. Start here again. See how these are evenly spaced and these are not? That's kind of a clue, don't you think? Because if this is a 6th note, and you go up Control 8, that's in the right place. And you go up Control 4, that's in the right place. And this one is in the wrong place. You should go up Control 8 for this one. Put your 0 here, and it's going to be a it's going to be a 12th note. So that's a 0. Go back here and delete that. See if that sounds good now. That's okay. I've never used the guitar before this much. Not in a long time, and not since it was like completely different. It's easy. It's so easy. And I'm just learning how. I mean, pretty soon I won't be saying, let's see, 4 divided by 40. Yeah, you get used to that stuff pretty fast. That's not how I really play it, but let's just keep moving. Okay, now let's copy this whole measure. You don't need to copy the empty notes right here. That won't help you at all. You can if you want. It won't hurt you, but you don't need to. And then you're going to put your northwest corner where you want your northwest corner to be, right there. Control V. Okay. Okay. And I could put more notes here, but let's just keep moving. This isn't going to be the final version. We're fleshing this out, and we're going to work on our arrangement later. This is the first song, the first ragtime song I learned when I was 16. I had just discovered tablature for the first time. I had loved Arlo Guthrie and Alice's Restaurant, and I had been trying to play the guitar for a long time. I had been in love with Simon and Garfunkel's music, but you know, those music books they used to make, those were for piano and stuff. It's like, geez, it's really hard to figure out. Plus, you know, it's gall darn Art Garfunkel and Paul Simon, they sing very high. They got high voices, higher than mine. It was just a big mess, you know? But once I discovered actual finger-picking guitar, I forgot about trying to sing, you know, for the most part, you know, as long as I was sober. So anyhow, let's keep going. Let's see. This is where we are now. All right, now let's copy another measure. This is fun. This is easy. This goes right here. And then this part we did last time by accident. Home. There you go. All right, let's play it and see what happens. Okay, most of that's approximately correct. There's a few little things that could be changed, but that's not the main point right now. Okay, let's delete this note. It sounds familiar, doesn't it? Oh, there it is. It's the same notes as this right here. Same notes and same timing. I mean, I could copy it if I wanted to. Control C. And let's click here. Control V. Play that, see how it sounds. So I'm getting my timing off here on some of this stuff. That's not... The way I play it is, I'm not going to sit here and think about it though. I'm going to flesh it out and come back and make changes some other time. I'm not going to make you watch. I don't want to think. I don't know how to count that, but. See, I put it in like this, but it's like this. So I'm going to put it in like this. Oh, heck, let's figure it out. Let's figure it out. Let's do it right. It's more fun if you do it right. Is it possible that that is a 12th note followed by a 16th note? Well, by golly, unlike other tablature, you can actually just put it in as the note you want it to be instead of entering eighth notes and having it sound like something else. So let's find out. Let's change this. That's actually a sixth note right now. I'm thinking make this a 12th note and make this a sixth note. I'll just see what it sounds like. I'm just curious. So I'm not a musician. I have to experiment with tablature, and pretty sure I can put this in, but I want to find out. Now I'm curious to see if Guitar can do it or not. You know what I mean? All right, so it's a sixth note right now. Let's go Control minus, and the minus over in the numpad. It's now an eighth note. Now it's a 12th note. Okay, and let's move Control 4 to the next note space, and let's put our 3 in here instead and call it a sixth note. Control Shift X 3. Delete this one. Let's just see what that sounds like already at this point. Oh my goodness, it sounds just right. Okay, let's keep going. I think that's a good thing to do, to get it right instead of dicking around, you know what I mean? Well, it's all dicking around. Just depending on how you feel about it, I guess. Okay, so we're changing this. Instead of being a sixth note, says it's a sixth note, we're going to change it, go minus minus, Control minus twice. Now it's a 12th note. Oh my. Oh, this is getting interesting. Oh, I'm glad I did it that way. So I assume we're going to put in another sixth note now. So we're going to Control 4. This is going to be an A down here, a 0. And then there's going to be a 2. That's going to be like a C sharp up there. Now we're going to go Control 8 and Shift Control X to make a sixth note. That's going to be a 2 for a C sharp. The next note's going to be a 12th note. Shift Control T and Control 8 to get to the end of the sixth note. And this is going to be on fret number 1. This is, I think they call it a stumble, if I recall correctly from all the Stefan Grossman lessons that I used to buy. Boy, I sure was mad when they stopped using cassette tapes in the world, because I had a bunch of them. Okay, this is now a out back in. That's a 12th note, so we're changing to 6th note. That's Control Shift X. Go forward 4. Everything just goes up 1 from there. That's going to be a 3. And so we're going to shift to 12th note and go to the end of the 6th note, Control 8. That's going to be a 2. Control S, I'm going to say that's good. And then I'm going to listen to it, because that's the best part. Oops, made some mistakes there. All right, that's okay. You see this gap here and this gap? See, this is why it's a time space. You can tell by the distance of the notes apart that there's something wrong. You can't do that with other tablature or with standard musical notation. You know that these are all the same. It's the same stumble all the way through. That's a consistent timing on all those notes. So you see inconsistent space here. That's where your mistake is. Oh my goodness, a guitar is wonderful. So there's a 12, a 6, a 12, a 6. This is where the problem is. This is right. This is wrong. Okay, so that's a 6th note. It's supposed to be a 12th note. Let's go down. Now it's a 12th note. And we'll go down here, go forward 4, Shift Control X to make a 6th note. Here is our 1, and we delete that one. That doesn't look perfect yet, so let's go up here, and this should be a 12th note. So we're going to go Control minus, minus, and then we're going to go down here, go forward 4 spaces. Shift Control X to make a 6th note. Put the 2 there. Get rid of that 2. That's a lot better. I don't know if it's perfect, but it's a lot better. This gap seems too big. Might come back to that, or maybe not. Seems like everything's pretty good, but this space right here seems a little bit long to me. It seems like this one should be jumping the gun a little bit up here. What if I just put that there? Would it sound better? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, the gaps are right, according to what I intended to do. But it seems to me like this should be starting up here or something. I mean, it's all right, you know. I mean, if it sounds better, this is a quarter note. Well, what if it's not a quarter note? I can put this note anywhere I want. It's on a different string, so I'm indecisive right now. I have no idea what to do. I've never had to put ragtime in accurately. I've always had to put it in as 8th notes and then just pretend. All right, let's put this in as, how about a 16th? No, how about an 8th? Let's make this an 8th note and see what happens. I don't know, just see what happens. So if I do this as an 8th note, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Correct. Because there's six steps, because there's 6 spaces, because there's 6 8s in 48. So we're going to make this an 8th note. Shift Control E, a 0, and delete this. See what that sounds like. Nah. I wonder if just this timing here was right, but the whole thing needs to be shifted over. All right, I'm going to try and watch that thing and see what column it wants to be at when it plays that B there. Yeah, this B wants to be played over here someplace. Okay, oh, I tell you what, because maybe this is supposed to be a 6th note or something. Anyhow, this is wrong. I want to delete that. Okay. I know what to do now. All right, let's put this back. It's a 12th note. What was that, a 0? Okay, that in itself is perfect, but it's playing too late. So let's go like this. We're going to cut it and move it. That's all screwed up, isn't it? Well, I didn't save any of that, so hopefully if we go back here, yeah, okay. The cut, copy, paste is not perfect yet. Let's change this to a 6th note while I'm thinking about it. Control minus, now it's a 6th note. This is going to be a 12th note, and it's going to be a 0. Now I'm going to save this, because you know how we can get back to this. We don't have a lot of undo. You got an undo on paste and cut, and that's it. It only goes back 1. Well, that needs to be fixed. In the meantime, I'm just going to forge on ahead and try to finish this song without copy and paste, which is definitely possible. Don't know what's going on here exactly. Don't have the slightest idea, to be perfectly frank. That's a 6th note. So if you go up from the red bar you go up 8, because 8 times 6 is 48. Control 8. Then you're in the yellow bar. That's going to be real helpful. You're going to know this kind of stuff. Okay, so we can go up here and make our 0. First go Shift Control T. That's a 12th note. So we're going to move everything the hard way. It's not that hard. I'm going to delete this. That's crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's move everything back 4. Everything. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. This is going to be a 6th note, and it's going to be a 3. Delete this. Just learn how to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be a 12th note, and it's a 1. Delete. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be a 6th note. It's going to be a 12th note. Sixth note. Twelfth note. Sixth note. Okay, and it's going to go. Okay. I got it. And the yellow, that's for a 12th note. No, it isn't. This is different. Let's see. So we go here, and that's going to be a 6th note, so we jump forward to 8. 6 times 8 is 48. Oh, well. Okay, whatever. There's going to be a 1. There's going to be a 12th note. Then we're having a quarter note. See if that sounds good. You see, I didn't need copy and paste. However, I'm kind of disappointed that it broke on me. I just have no idea. Maybe the database got messed up or something. That's perfect. Okay. Let's just have some fun here. All right, that's good. And that's what I should have done up here, but I'm not going to fix it right now. Okay, now here's what I wanted to copy. Okay. Control C. And we're going to go over here to a red note. That's kind of clunky. Can I click here without messing things up? Well, let's find out. This will give me a guide, you see. It worked. So clicking down here didn't mess me up. That's good. Let's see if that worked. Yep. Control S. So I need a quarter note. Quarter note, you go forward 12, so Control 6 twice. 6th note. Do 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 do. Okay, that's a D. No, it's an E and an E. We're on a 6th note now. Sixth note, so we jump 8 and Control Shift T for the 12th note that usually follows a 6th note. Start it over. Second verse, same as the first. There you go. Any number of things you can do. You make your own arrangement. All right, so from a 12th note, we jump up 4. Da, da, da. This is a 6th note. I think I already said that. I was going to do one of these. And I'm going to go 12th note, but I'm going to go ahead 8 before I do that. That's just going to be a G. Okay, so that was a 12th note, so we're going to go ahead 4 and change this to a quarter note. At some point in ragtime, you got to stop jittery-jocking, and so that later on when you start jitterbugging again, you appreciate it. It's sort of like life, you know. It's sort of like a box of chocolates. If everyone is caramel, and you get tired of caramel. Let's see how that sounds. Good enough for government work? Okay, that starts before the end of the measure. That's what I'm hesitating about. It's like this. It's like this one. That's a kind of a lead into the next measure. That's going to be right here. This is going to be a 12th note. See, I'm not used to this because I'm used to just writing them all down as 8th notes, and then, like, you know what it's supposed to sound like. But the code for writing that program that way has got to be a nightmare. I wouldn't want to know. So on the beat, on the first beat in the measure, okay, you're slamming down an F, and here, and that's an A there, and this is going to be a quarter note, so that's going to be a 2. And that's going to be a 1. I play it with my thumb. That's a hammer. The A is a hammer. But you learn this stuff. You don't write it down and mess up your tablature. I don't believe in it. However, if you don't want to put your lyrics, you can put a little H down here, just like this. Let's just do it. Just put a little H here. You can do that if you want, okay? It's you can even say hammer the A. I don't care what you do. It's up to you. If you're not going to use your chords, I suppose you could put it up in your chord area. But you can't mess up your tablature. That's wrong. It makes it look hard, okay? You don't want your music to look hard. You want your music to look easy. It's just, honky-tonk music. Why should it look hard? If you're doing alternating bass, then you're going to have a F here. back into the ragged notes. Control Shift X for a sixth. C and a F. I think this is going to be one of these stumbly things where you play your 12th note first and your 6th note second. I didn't never know so much about ragtime until I started putting it in according to its real timing. Goodness gracious. Maybe it's just this song. Maybe this song is musically complex. I'm going to try and rough this out. All right. Let's change that to a 12th note because I think that's what we need to do. And put it in as a stumbly. Let's say that stumbling, maybe hypothetically at this point, since I don't know, a stumble is where you put the 12th note and then the 6th note. I do not know what I'm doing right now. But I can tell you I'm having fun. Or maybe it's a triplet who got like three 12th notes in a row, you know. That happens. It sounds like a triplet, don't you think? But see, you don't have to think of it as a triplet. You just think of it as 3 12th notes in a row because that's what it is. You don't have to you don't have to make it look fancy or funny or weird or odd or inconsistent or unsymmetrical. You just put in your 3 12th notes and that's it. You can tell by how far apart they are what they are when you look at it. Okay, so we're going to play a D and then an F, and we're going to make them all 12th notes and see what happens. Yeah, I'm going to make them all 12th notes. See what happens. Oh boy, this is fun. Okay, and there's your D, and there's your F, Control 4. Try making this a 6th note. I'm just doing the best I can right now. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, see what that sounds like. I suspect that it's not correct. Okay, well, I tried. I don't know. I'm not a musician because I don't count very well. Okay, this 3 comes too early. What's this? This is a 12th note? Or I put it as a 12th note. I don't think it's supposed to be. Well, I mean, you can make this as a chord. You could do, 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 do. That's a simple way. But do, 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 do. Is that a real 8th note? It is. I'll be darned. Let's just give it a try and see what happens. We'll change that. That says quarter note, so let's change this one to go Control plus. Change that to a real 8th note. Move this. You're going to skip 3 twice. Okay, see if it sounds good up to that point. I'm going to hit Control S because I'm afraid I'm going to lose something. Yeah, I have to delete this. It's just... is this in straight time? Maybe this section is in straight time, and it makes it sound cool because you get hearing a deet 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 net 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 net, and suddenly you put some straight time in there, it sounds like ragtime squared. You know, it just gives your ear a break, and it sounds interesting. Oh, I'm just a theory, just a theory. Some of my theories don't pan out from time to time. So if this is really an eighth note, let's just give it a shot. No, this is really an eighth note. That's an A. So I guess we're just going to get rid of this because I did it all too soon. It was all too close together. So these are all eighth notes. Theoretically, I'm not sure yet. See what it sounds like. If so, then we have gone from ragtime into a measure of straight time. That's my theory. Let's test it out, see what it sounds like. Nope, nope. Straight time is wrong. Just curious. I just wanted to know. This note, does it come early or late? Do 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 I think it's coming late. So this is eighth note. Let's change it to a 12th note. Call this a 6th note for now. Kind of guessing. All right, see if that plays okay so far up to that point. You could go to do 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 do. That would be cheating. I mean, it sounds okay, but it's not exactly the most exciting way to do it. I know what let's do. Let's make this a 6th note and this a 12th note, if I didn't try that already. Okay. Delete. See if that sounds okay up to there. Yep, that's it. This is probably a 12th note right there. That yellow column is going to come in handy. Control S for save. Perfect. Da 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 da. Okay, that's simple. Those are going to be just plain old 6 notes and 12 notes. I don't know what to call those things. I used to call it duplimeter, but I don't know if that's right. By the way, I should be putting in chords up here. I love to put in chords. I just think it's so instructive on, music theory to put in the chords. But some other time. Okay, we're going to do 6th note. This is a F chord. So we jump forward 8. I believe this is going to be a 12th note, and it's going to be an A. Jump forward 4. Change back to a 6th note. It's another of those C's. And this one is an F. This is going to jump forward 8. Twelfth note. Jump forward 4. Change to 6th note. It's the same. Jump forward 8. Okay, there's a D, and it's going to be the 12th note. And we jump forward 4, and that is an even quarter note there. Control save, see how it sounds. Sounded a little funny. That's not a quarter note. This is a quarter note. This, it is? That's not right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The timing is right. Don't change the timing. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe that 2's playing late. The timing sounds right. Oh, it's a stumble. It's a 12th note followed by a 6th note. All right, that thinks it's a quarter note. See, it doesn't sound right if you get that part wrong. Let's change that to a 12th note. I'm sure that's what it's supposed to be. Make that a 12th note. And then this one's a 6th note. I think I got that wrong. That can't be right. There's a quarter note again. Again, I call that a quarter note. I must have forgot to do something. Quarter note, quarter note. Everything went in as a quarter note. Okay, this is right. It's on a quarter note beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a 12th note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a 6th note. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 12th note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a 6th note. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 12th note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh. Well, I put it in the right place, but I called it a quarter note. Okay. Well, this one could be a quarter note, but I don't think this one should be. Let's call that a 6th note. That explains why the other one's on the yellow. Now it makes sense, you see. I don't know about you, but I think I'm learning something about music from guitar. I don't know why that's called a quarter note, but it could be, but this one shouldn't be. Let's call this a 6th note. Control minus. This one's wrong too. It's also a quarter. I must have just forgot to do some stuff. Forgot to select the right duration. It happens every once in a while. So it's going to go down. That's a 12th note. And that should be a 6th note. That could be a quarter note if it wants to. This is going to be a 12th note. Dang. This one is a quarter note. Control save. All right. See what it sounds like. right, all right. I believe this is going to be copied from here to here. Control save, escape. See what that sounds like. You can do what you want here, but I'm just going to fill in this like that. It's a 5 and a 3. We're in that D7. 5 and a 3. Sixth note. This is going to be a 3. Jump forward 8. 12th note. Jump forward 4. Sixth note. Jump forward 8. 12th note. Okay. There's one way to play it. Jump forward 4. 6th note. Jump forward 8. 12th note. Jump forward 4. Quarter note. Looks like a G7. D and a F. Jump forward 6 twice. Control S. Quarter note still. All right, we're done. That's the whole song. Now I could copy from here to here and paste here, approximately. Paste here. You can do this. And paste here. And it'll copy a second verse right after the first. And then while it's playing, it will auto scroll. But first let's listen to it one way through all the way. Make sure it sounds good. Control save. Oh my goodness, that sounds nice. Did you see that? It auto-scrolled. Honey, hi. Did you hear my beautiful song? Yeah, I made a computer program that played that. Oh, it took 2.5 months. Okay, I saved that. Now, Let's see if I can do this. I want to paste this whole thing, starting here and ending here. Oh my goodness, this might work. Control C. And then we find that red place down here. Oops, that's not working. I'm going to have to guess. There it is. There it is. That's where I want it. Go up here and click. I forgot to hit Control C. Oh my goodness. Oh, no I didn't. It just took a while because it's Python. Look at that. Well, Control S. Oh, look, it came in the right place. Oh, it's a little bogged down right now. It's Python. See if it plays. Look at that, look at that. That's how you do repeats in guitar. It's going to auto scroll again. I can stop it any time I want. So, space bar. Look at that. That's pretty good, huh? Now the next step, I want to show you how to delete a song. Alice's Restaurant, see, is a it got erased accidentally, to be perfectly honest. But here, what you do, instead of clicking this with the left mouse button, you click it with the right mouse button, and you get a little dialogue. Delete Alice's Restaurant forever. Yeah, for now. Now see, Alice's Restaurant is gone. It's not here anymore. Okay. But it said now we're going to open up Alice 3 because it's a complete song. It was finished. Except there's one weird note in here. I still didn't like the way it sounded. Anyway, and we're going to rename it. We're going to call it Alice's Restaurant because that's what it is. Now it's called Alice's Restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. I said, way back in the back, just a half a mile from the railroad track. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. Except an Alice. You could get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. I said, walk right in, she's around and back, just a half a mile from the railroad track. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. I gotta tell you a story I can't resist. When I was a child, less than 100 years ago. We had us a weenie dog named Gretchen who loved to sing real loud. But only when you played chopsticks on the piano. You know, I think it was the dissonance or something. There's some dissonance in there, and that's why I like it. But it didn't make me howl, but I love to make the dog howl. She never howled any other time, just chopsticks. The longer you played chopsticks, the more excited she got and the louder she howled. The moral of the story is that Chopsticks is the only piano song I can play from memory because I played it so much as a child in order to get Gretchen to sing. Okay, so thanks for showing up, and I'll see you next time. This here Professor U.D. Guru. Bye-bye.
Please turn off the phonograph.
Yes, Mother.
Lurch, the music has stopped.
No, but I can't.